After almost a 6-week break, the Eastern Airways British F1 Sidecar Championship finds itself here at Snetterton for round 2. We're standing here at the entrance to the Sidecar paddock. Shall we go in? The opening round was at Brands Hatch, and in the absence of Tim Reeves away on world duty, you could be forgiven for thinking Sean Hegarty would run away with it. Yeah, in fairness, he did win at Brands, but he was hotly pursued by Lovelock, Peach, several other crews. So here at Snetterton, it's very much game on. Let's have a look at the standings. Well, they're on top of the pile. Sean Hegarty, James Nees, 70 points. That is almost a maximum. Unbelievable. Lovelock, Edwards, there's your top 3. Ben Holland and Lee Watson. From Andy Peach and Charlie Richardson, who not only are slow getting off the line, they're slow getting their season into gear as well. Further down the order, Simon Gilbert with John Allen this weekend. In actual fact, good to see Steve Kershaw there in 13th place. However, we had a race yesterday afternoon. It was a bit late in the day, but Sean Hegarty right there in second place. Pole position, of course, Andy Peach and Charlie Richardson, who scorched round here in qualifying 156.9. But from the off, Hegarty got his nose in front. Andy Peach just cannot get that BMW off the line, and he's trailing. Look at them all going through. Mark Edwards there giving Barry James a bit of a shove. Barry James and Sam Christie were on board with him. But away went Hegarty and Neve. Lovelock and Alto in hot pursuit. James and Christie, having got their act together, really got the hammer down. Ben Bygrave with Justin Sharp were pushing well on the Blue Machinery Suzuki, and Ben Holland, Lee Watson for Finning Cat were behind the Peach Richardson pairing. We're with Charlie now. Into the pits came Ian Guy and Ben Ransley. The former Grand Prix runner Ian Guy, a miserable day here at Snetterton, things not going well at all. But the battle for fourth raged. Peach was playing catch-up, and play catch-up he did. He got right on the back and chased hard of Barry James. 57, Tony Brown and Ashley Hawes on the Paymundo.com Yamaha. Now sporting a 2007 engine, but Peach and Richardson went past Barry James and Sam Christie up to third. And it was at this moment when Hegarty was easing away, Lovelock now being dropped to something like 6 seconds adrift. Peach very much on the case, but then look at this, a little puff of moisture on the camera lens there, and at the same moment Barry James spit Sam Christie out onto the grass. Barry James reckons there was some moisture came out of the back of Andy Peach's bike. That's not been proven either way, and I'm being devil's advocate, but you be a judge for yourself. Barry James spun out. Andy Peach, meanwhile, cracked on, and he's now up to second. Second place for him then, Lovelock and Alto, and Roger Lovelock admitted that he was getting a little bit weary. Nonetheless, Peach and Richardson pulled away. It was a big gap between them and Lovelock at the end. Tony Brown and Ashley Hawes at this point had moved up to fourth, and as Hegarty took the flag millimetres away from the pit wall, Peach and Lovelock followed him home. 2 BMWs there, just 1 second between them. Tony Brown, Ashley Hawes, Paymundo.com, Ben Bygrave, Justin Sharp, Mark Edwards, Chaplow, and Patrick Farrance, TT winner from Ricky Stevens. Barry James recovered to finish 11th. Had he not spun out, it might have been his first podium in quite a while. Case Kentrop and Danny DeHaas there score a point for Holland. Well done. And down the end, Ian Guy, you saw him in pit lane. Well, the old saying is another day, another dollar. It's another day. Race 2, welcome to the grid. It's late in the day. Conditions are much cooler, so it's going to be easier. It's going to be very interesting because Ben Bygrave and Justin Sharp were absolutely flying in yesterday's race. Likewise, Tony Brown, Ashley Hawes. They were lucky because we had that restart. If they hadn't had the restart, they wouldn't have been able to sort out their little fuel problem. They got out and they did very, very well indeed. A fourth place for them. The BMW of Roger Lovelock and Aki Alto, very fast. It's 6 miles an hour quicker through the speed trap than the guy who has won 3 of the 4 races so far this season, on pole position because he won yesterday's race. Hotly pursued, coming from behind by Andy Peach and Charlie Richardson on their L&W BMW. They have got to get out of the traps quicker. Andy says he's a slow starter, must do better. So Hegarty on pole position. Is it going to be win number 4? 8 laps, away we go. Well, our commercial partner for this race, Midtherm Flu Systems, and a lot of their guests have been here over the weekend enjoying the entertainment, so that is great for them to get involved. Always good to see new sponsors. The red flag ahead of Sean Hegarty on pole, of course, because he was the previous race winner. Roger Lovelock, and to the right of him, Andy Peach, just out of shot, just down on the left. There he is, the number 4 LMW outfit. Roger Lovelock, Ben Bygrave, number 74, back there in the picture. Mark Edwards with yellow, number 8, on the Assured Office Solutions Kawasaki. And look at that, how quick was the driver walk BMW away off the line. Roger Lovelock, Aki Alto, his passenger, who jets over for each and every round from Finland to sample the goodies in that BMW Sidecar. And how good is that? Look at the start by Tony Brown on the Paymundo.com Yamaha, now sporting a 2007 R1 engine, so he's getting more and more modern with the equipment. Can he hold it together? The Blue Machinery Suzuki of Ben Bygrave and Justin Sharp faring very well. Ricky Stevens on the second of the Assured Office Solutions Kawasaki's, very much in the thick of the action. Craig Chaplow also pushing very well with Patrick Farrance. Oh, Tony Brown with the wheel in the air. Oh, look at that. How close do you want it? Ashley Hawes must have thought he might be jettisoned there, but no, he stayed in. That was amazing. A bit of a shunt, I think. Tony Brown looking over his shoulder to say, don't do that again, Ben. Goes through, goes Ben Bygrave. I say again, we're riding with Michael Grabmuller from Vienna with Callum Lawson, the Austrian with the Kawasaki, said to me after the first race, these guys are very fast. It is better than World Championship. Forgive my Austrian accent, but that's sort of what he said. Anyway, I think his English is probably better than mine. But gloomy, actually. Clouds descending here at Snetterton. But how good do you want this action? Bygrave, 74. Then it's Ricky Stevens. Then it's Mark Edwards. In the middle of that bunch, Andy Peach and Charlie Richardson. From second place on the grid, they're now mixing it with the young guns. So Andy's got to learn to get that BMW out of the traps quicker. Behind him, it's Chaplow and Farrance. Then the Finning Cat, Kawasaki of Ben Holland and Lee Watson. On board with another Kawasaki, Barry James and young Sam Christie, running so strongly in the first race in third place until they spun out. And now look at the two Portsmouth lads side by side. Through goes Tony Brown. Paymundo.com past Finning Cat. Barry James Kawasaki very quick. There's Ben Holland going through on the brakes as well. Is he going to pay the price? No. He goes a bit wide. Barry James much steadier. Very good indeed. Look at the tree with his arms in the air as you approach it. That's your turning in point. Round they go. Round Montreal, the very tight right-hander. Who went straight on? Oh no, I was going to say who went straight on. I tell you who went straight off. Tony Brown and Ashley Hawes out of the running with a mechanical problem. So only on the second lap they're out of it. John Holden, Andy Winkle's arm in the air. A retirement for them, just as they retired in the Isle of Man TT when leading. So their misery goes on. Back at the front, one on the bike, one in the race. Roger Lovelock, former champion, now leading Sean Hegarty. I won't say champion designate because there is a long way to go in the 2014 Eastern Airways British F1 Sidecar Championship season. Hegarty and Neve, who have really clicked together. James Neve, very tall. It is a source of puzzlement to me how he wraps his long figure around the outfit. He certainly uses it to good effect. Look how far he is over. Aki Alto with his head right over the side. Simon Gilbert and John Allam, another retirement. What's the problem there? Smoke. Let's hope they haven't put oil down. I think that's probably coolant that's bubbling away there. Hegarty then. What a little hand in the air for the pit board. Acknowledgement. I'm amazed they can see it. But these two now at the front of the race, just a fraction of a second separating them, and it's the LCR BMW, the driver wolf bike, 157.952. That compares with a 155.8 lap record set by Tim Reeves last year. Prior to that, it was the Birchells at 156. A quick word to Ben Birchall, who injured his hand in the TT. Get well soon, Ben. We're all thinking of you. Bygrave, Justin Sharp in the chair. Peach and Richardson, L&W, Dave Walton very much evident at all the races this year now. Andy Peach's personal sponsor seems in much more relaxed form as well, Dave Walton. 73 on the E8 Motorsport Kawasaki, Craig Chaplow and Patrick Farrance. Winner of the Isle of Man TT with Dave Molyneux, and Barry James and Sam Christie, number 3, in close company. Looking at the pit wall monitor, and all the crews enjoying these pictures here, which of course is being filmed not only for us, but we're scheduled to go live on Eurosport. Look how close they are, nothing between them. There's Mark Edwards and Lee Barrett, and still at the front, holding on lap 3 of 8, Roger Lovelock and Aki Alto. Are they going to be able to shake Hegarty off? That's what they need to do. Chaplow, of course. Oh, look at Hegarty. I've got to stay with this battle, because rather than get into anecdotal stuff, I've got to stay with this, because Hegarty now is climbing all over the back of the BMW. But this is where you'd expect the BMW to gain, because it's much quicker up the straight and it's much quicker through the speed trap. But as Hegarty moves alongside and goes ahead, we are going to take a short break. Join us again for the second half of this race. Welcome back to Snetterton, and it's the old firm back in business at the front of the race. Sean Hegarty and James Neve, who came into this race on 95 points ahead of the man they're leading in this race, Lovelock, on 72. So 23 points the difference, and if things stay the way they are now, that gap will stretch by another 5 points. Barry James and Sam Christie going past Craig Chaplow and Patrick Farrance. And ahead of them, it looks like one of the Assured Office Solutions Kawasaki, either maybe Edwards or Stevens. Into the pits, Ben Holland, the Finning Cat bike. Well, they've not had a good day. They had oil problems earlier on. They've obviously got coolant problems now, and it's another retirement. Everybody, of course, very concerned about the possibility of putting fluids down on the tarmac surface, and they pull in just as quickly as they possibly can. There you can see it's Mark Edwards. There's Ricky Stevens, but it's Mark Edwards ahead of Barry James. Ricky Stevens, Ben Bygrave. Out on the right, it's Barry James. The yellow number 8, and that's a retirement. That looks like retirement, Barry James. Oh no, what a shame for him. A spin in the first race, and it's a retirement in this one. That Kawasaki is going no further. What a shame. This young driver has got definite promise, definite speed. And in the 3 seasons ago, in the opening round at Brands Hatch, we saw him beat Tim Reeves convincingly, 2 out of 3. So we know he can do it. Mark Edwards, Lee Barrett now behind their teammate Ricky Stevens and Ryan Charwood. Bygrave and Justin Sharp, 74, on the blue machinery Suzuki. But this pair of Kawasaki's doing well. He's the only Suzuki in that bunch. It's a quacker behind him in the hands of Chaplow. These young guns really going for it. This is where the entertainment is in this race. Stevens then setting the pace. Edwards right behind him. Then it's Bygrave. Then it's Chaplow. Chaplow possibly, with the exception of Mark Edwards, the most experienced in that bunch. Certainly the most circumspect and possibly the steadiest of the riders, and that is not necessarily a bad thing. Andy Peach has broken free of all this raging talent behind him and is setting about closing down the race leaders, Edwards and Barrett. The fluorescent number 8 underneath their teammates Stevens and Charwood. They gave their run wide. No, they haven't run wide. They've kept it. They've made it stick. So that's another place up the pecking order for Mark Edwards. Now the next man nibbling away at Ricky Stevens is Ben Bygrave, number 74. There's the gap. The race leader has something like 5 seconds now over Lovelock, and here comes Peach. Peach and Richardson, L&W BMW, supported by Midthird Flue Systems as well for this round. So good to see that. And what he's got to do, Peach is quick, there's no doubt about it. He's got racecraft. All he's got to do is learn to get that BMW off the line, and he won't have to work so hard. Must do better in the starting stakes, Andy Peach. Chaplow not giving up. He's stuck in on the back of Bygrave. And it's not going to be long before he goes past Ben Bygrave, and as if by magic, hey presto, it happens. Chaplow then scything through. The next to fall under the Chaplow and Farrant's hammer will be Ricky Stevens. And this is Kawasaki plays Kawasaki, so nothing in it for speed. Mark Edwards now pulling away at the head of this quartet. The Avon tyres doing a good job here. Everybody evenly matched, of course, because the tyre choices, I have to say, are pretty limited. If it's round and black and it's made by Avon, that's what you get. I don't mean that in a derogatory sense, but it's absolute fact. There is a medium compound, a hard compound for the rears of the sidecars, and as for the fronts, well, you get what they've got. Up goes the wheel. Patrick Farrant's being hoisted skyward just a little bit there, and now is Chaplow going to make him move? He's poised because he knows that Ben Bygrave 74 will get past if he doesn't do something pretty quickly. I'm impressed with Bygrave. They've thrown that outfit together, pretty much a family effort. Apart from the blue machinery input, it's been done on a wing and a prayer, and it's going well. They had a big shunt in the opening round at Brands, which meant that half the tub had to be replaced. Now they've got it sorted and straightened out. Stuart Muldoon, son-in-law of the race organiser Roger Body, was the man responsible for helping them straighten the outfit out. They've done a cracking job, I have to say. Well turned out, looks good. Ricky Stevens, number 100. Ryan Charlwood with him. This good young pairing up from Portsmouth, sharing the awning with Mark Edwards. Two outfits run out of that awning, 170 Ian Drown and Ken Edwards. 3 miles then of this spectacular Snetterton circuit to do. Ian Drown, Ken Edwards, 32 Gary Horsepole with Sander Faber, a Dutchman, holding down the wheel in place of Paul Napton, who is also resting in hospital with serious ankle injuries after the TT. A get well to you, Paul, as well. See you back soon, mate. These two have had a really good battle, and Ian Drown, I have to say, his Kawasaki, he was one of the first guys to switch to Kawasaki and use it sensibly and get success out of it, and he's done a good job. Ken Edwards as well, doing a fantastic job for him. Race leader then on the final lap has now well and truly stretched the gap from Roger Lovelock, and Lovelock had better look to his laurels because Andy Peach is closing quickly, but I think we're pretty much done and dusted here with Mark Edwards and Lee Barrett sitting in 4th, Ricky Stevens in 5th, but is Chaplow going to nail them and grab that 5th place? Therein lies a question. And this is the battle. This is the battle for 5th. Ricky Stevens and Ryan Charlwood have it. Craig Chaplow and Patrick Farrants want it. The question is, which of them is going to get it? 73, Chaplow. EA Motorsport. Now that team run by a lady, team manager. EA Motorsport, named after her human relations or human resources company. So if you've got a problem with your employment, then give her a call. This is it. Chaplow's alongside. Ricky Stevens, though, using all his racecraft, keeping the door closed. We're on board now with Grabmuller and Callum Lawson. The Austrian has been getting quicker and quicker. Is that him up to 8th place? I think it could well be. On the final lap then, not far to go. Just the sprint up the straight, and Hegarty has got this one by almost 8 seconds in the final analysis. Look how he hugs the wall. That's it. Win number 2 then here at Snetterton. Win number 4 from 5 races for Hegarty. Lovelock, another solid second. Peach completing the podium, number 4 on the L&W. It could have been a different story. Chaplow has got the better of Ricky Stevens, so he's going to grab, and Stevens coming alongside over the line, but Chaplow gets it by half a fairing, and that is 5th place for him because Mark Edwards and Lee Barrett went over in 4th, 7th. Grabmuller 97, 7th for Bygrave. They get 8th, and Steve Kershaw, Rob Wilson, 9th place. Wonderful stuff. Horsepole's got the better of Ian Drown and Ken Edwards, so he's giving his young Dutch passenger Sander Faber a good ride over the line. Second time for him. He had him out in the World Round in Donington, but there it is. Sean Hegarty and James Neve, 33, from Lovelock and Aki Alto. That, ladies and gentlemen, is your podium. Is anyone going to stop this man? Well, no one's invincible, I can tell you, because on Saturday we had a bit of a false start in one of the races, and he actually had an electrical problem which sidelined him on lap 1. If that had been the race proper, he'd have been well and truly stuffed. But there you are, he got it. Hegarty, Lovelock, Peach, that's the podium. Edwards, Chaplow, Stevens, top 6. Bygrave, Grabmuller, what a solid rider he is. Kershaw and Horsepole, 30 seconds over that distance, not bad at all. Drown, Rob Biggs, good for him, he got points. Good to see the Dutchman Kentrop there as well. Roger Body and Rod Robinson, Helen Deany collect a point for 15th. I would say the future's pretty rosy for Barry James as well.
2 out of 2 in the weekend. That's a good show.
It's not a bad weekend's work, is it? I'm quite impressed with that.
Bike's going well.
Bike's going well. We're not fast enough, by a long means. Too slow in a straight line.
He needs a bit of speed. He's got to get back to Holland.
Yeah, well, yeah, it'll be fast round there, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll be right. We'll just try harder.
Next round?
Yeah, Knockhill. Hopefully the speed thing won't be such an issue. Just have to make sure we've got good tyres on and just try hard from the word off. Try and make a break and not let them pass me, really.
Good result, maximum points. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Not such a bad weekend, Roger.
No, I can't complain at third and a second. We tried to keep Sean at bay there, but it was a bit difficult. I knew he was going to come past us sooner or later, but I tried to make myself as wide as I possibly could for as long as I possibly could. But no, second place, we're happy with that.
Getting off the line seems to be a problem for you, Andy.
But yeah, I'm still work in progress, and I think getting it off the line is the biggest thing we've got to work on. It just fluffs up and it won't clear till third gear, so everybody just drives straight past us.
You no idea what it is?
No, we haven't got that far. We've had so many problems with it. We're working our way to it now, but we're not there yet.
As you say, work in progress. Charlie, any ideas?
Not really. Might be something we can look at on the computer and sort of adjust it a little bit, but it's going to take a bit of time to figure it out.
Well, the good thing about this year's championship is everyone's staying in touch at the top. This is 2 rounds from 9. We've still got 7 and double points at some point in the season. Edwards, Chaplow, Holland, 4th, 5th and 6th. Tony Brown, Stevens, Grabmuller there in 9th. Everybody's scoring good, solid points here. So a battle all the way down the field. 1 or 2 newcomers at the back having their eyes well and truly opened. But even Case Kentrop has got some points. Good for him. Well, the pit lane's emptying rapidly here and the heavy clouds are building, but what a race that was. Race 2 on our show, absolutely fantastic. It just shows the strength in depth down the field. What a mighty scrap, and Sean Hegarty didn't exactly run away with it, did he? Lovelock gave him a fight. The next round comes from Knockhill, different altogether. Tight, twisty, technical. Let's hope for some good racing in Scotland. Please join us, we'll be there. Thanks for watching, bye-bye.